Take control of your finances. Gain insights from top industry professionals. Financial topics that matter to you from your go-to resource. This is Right on the Money with your host, Dennis Mattern.
Hello and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that features financial advisors, insurance professionals, and fiduciaries who discuss financial topics that empower you to take control of your finances. I'm your host, Dennis Mattern, and we are so glad you've taken time out of your day to spend with us. Now, of course, remember, you can watch full episodes on our YouTube channel or rightonthemoneyshow.com. Now, today I am pleased to be joined by our friend Jay Davidson, President of Federal Retirement Strategies out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Jay, great to have you here today.
Thank you for having me, Dennis.
It is always a pleasure. Now, we are going to dive right in. We are going to talk about you, your practice, but most importantly, I am so curious, how did you get started working with federal employees?
I was introduced to it. I received my Series 7 back in 1998 and was working with just individuals, and then was introduced to the federal and the postal market, and just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the people. They're a unique, specialized group, very conservative by nature, and started working with them, doing some informational workshops, and haven't looked back.
Now, I know that in your practice, knowing your practice and the work that you do, education is very important.
Yes.
And I have to imagine with, the federal government is known for having lots of choices and bureaucracy, that education, especially for that group, has got to be super important.
It really is. They have a wonderful array of benefits, but the challenge is how to utilize them, how to understand them, and how to maximize them.
How do you know what you don't even know?
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And you nicely said it, but there's a lot of red tape and there's not a lot of help. The postal employees, for example, they used to have an HR group in every state, and they moved them all to Greensboro, North Carolina.
Wow.
And so you have to understand that back when that happened, the people that really knew what they were doing had been there for a long time. And so they're not going to just up and leave to another state if they're rooted. So a lot of the people there were newbies, and so they just don't have a lot of help.
All I hear when you say that, in my mind, I hear phone tree, giant phone tree for getting help. Now, we were talking off camera, and you had mentioned before, just to add another layer, if you will, that federal employees hired before a certain date were under a different plan. Is that right?
Correct. So anybody hired prior to 1984 was a civil service employee, and their pension and their TSP works a little different. And anybody after January 1st of 84 and after is a FERS employee, and their pension and TSP, the way the match works and everything, is different. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, the good news is, and again, another conversation we had off camera, you're not working just in Little Rock. You actually have a national reach. Is that right?
That's correct. We are based out of Little Rock, actually West Little Rock. We have our office there, but we go around the country and deal with different agencies and speak to other groups as well.
That's fascinating. And of course, every person is different, but in this case, every person, although they're different, has access to the same retirement program.
That's exactly right.
Okay. So first and foremost, because our show has a national reach, so for anybody watching, how do they get in touch with you?
They can go to our website at www.federalretirementstrategies.com, or they can just call us, email us.
The main retirement plan now is the thrift savings plan. Did I say that right?
Yes, the TSP is the thrift savings plan. That's one of the three components of how their retirement will be calculated.
Now, I know that there was a Modernization Act that took place, and that just happened, didn't it?
September 15th of 2019.
September. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and when we come back to Right on the Money, Jay and I are going to dive into the thrift savings plan. I have to look at it because it's so long. The thrift saving plan, Modernization Act, the changes that brought about, and then also some of the key challenges that you see retirees from the federal government that they have to deal with and how you help them. So you don't want to miss that. We'll see you on the other side of the break.